Hey everyone, I'm here with Amber Smith, the one, the only Amber, who's been in legal marketing. Gosh, how long, Amber?
Almost 7 years.
Okay.
Goes by fast.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, we're here today to talk about some really incredible insights on what was it, like over 3,000 consumers in the space that are actively looking for or have worked with a law firm recently. And we wanted to talk about those insights today and just kind of go over what they're saying. You know, it's not our data, it's what they want, you know, when they're looking for a lawyer. So now some more of the juicy stuff from the survey, right? You're one of those firms, you did the exercise and you're found, right? You show up in one of the top 5 results. Your consumer gets there and all of a sudden, what do? They start looking around, right? Well, we know from the survey results, they look at 2 to 5, right? Yeah. Other law firms in the area that all say they do what you do.
And that they're the best at what they do.
So what do we do from here? How do we tackle that?
Well, there's a lot of ways that you have to tackle it. First, you can't just pat yourself on the back because you're ranking number 1 for a term on Google. That's wonderful. And that's actually a great achievement. But it doesn't mean that you're done and that your job is done. So you have to think about, well, what are they doing next? They're going to your website. We talked earlier about how important your website is to connect with people and to really talk about what you do and to represent you properly and to differentiate you from the competitors, right?
Yeah.
But they're going to want to reach out to you. So you need to make that client journey as easy as you possibly can in order for them to actually reach out to you, meaning let's have great customer service on the website. Let's make it easy for them to call you or text you or email you. However you feel comfortable, you should be able to reach out to them in that way.
Yeah. I mean, but I have my phone number on my website. Is that not enough?
No. That is not enough because everybody has their phone number on their website. But whenever you say to a client, hey, I care enough about you to communicate with you in a way that you're most comfortable, because you think about it, there's different things that people are dealing with, right? They may not be ready to pick up the phone and call you, but if they can text you and that's more comfortable for them, you've done a great job of giving them an entryway into actually communicating with you and potentially becoming your client.
Back to this idea of intake, right? Where you need to now put yourselves in the shoes of your prospective clients. So you already did that. You found yourself online. You were one of the top 5. Kudos to you. Now, take an opportunity to act like one of your prospective clients, right? Call the firm from a blocked number if you need to, so they don't know that it's you, and really vet your intake process. How easy was it to even do that? When you got to that page, passed the content test, it made you feel welcome. Maybe you got some video there. Now you want to hire yourself. How did that feel, right? When we start to really consider that we're not just looking the part online, but we really want to make sure that we can make our clients feel comfortable, right? We can truly understand some of the areas of opportunity that we might be missing out on.
Right.
Now, this is the one that is the kicker in the survey that really, really got me. It's up 10% year over year. And it's up to, I think, 73% of consumers say that if you don't get back to them within 24 hours, they're going to hire someone else. You're done. How many times have you heard that from some of your prospective clients or even clients that you work with where I lost this deal? And it wasn't because you weren't showing up. It wasn't because you didn't answer the phone. It's because you just didn't call them back.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about some of our practice areas that have high cost per acquisitions and high cost per leads. That's a real problem. If you're paying a lot of money for that lead and then you don't have a quick response, you just flush money down the drain. You don't want to do that.
No. Waste of money.
Yeah. And I think every attorney I've ever talked to wants to maximize the dollars being spent. So you can't skip past that part.
All right, Amber. So talk to me about this. I'm one of those firms that shows up in the top position. What can I be doing today to make sure that I am giving those responses, those quick responses, those what you kind of called the personalized approach to intake? How can I do that?
Yeah, I mean, first, it's about making sure that you're available to reach out in a way that they're most comfortable, like we talked about. But how do you do that? So everybody knows about chat. Chat is a thing. It's been a thing for a very long time, but Is your chat just saying, hey, what is your name and what is your phone number and what is your email? Or is your chat more responsive to where it's not just gathering information, but it's giving information? It's utilizing your site to answer the questions that they have. So you now become the trusted advisor and your chances of booking them as a client just increased.
Yeah.
So I think chat is something that you have to have on your site. It's expected these days. And chat technology has definitely improved over time. So, you don't have to necessarily use like a live person on your chat. You can use technology that helps to answer those questions and helps to lead them down the path of actual conversion.
Yeah. I mean, I've had multiple conversations with firms that have told me over the years, well, I don't use that. And I think we need to stop thinking about what do we use? I mean, take the results from the survey.
Yeah.
Your consumers want these quick response times, and you might not use it, but your ideal clients expect to have it, right?
Yeah.
They want to be able to interact with you wherever they are.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you consider that someone might be looking for help on a divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're away and they're out to lunch with a girlfriend or a guy friend, and someone gives them that referral, and now you're the firm that was found, and they get to that website and, you make them feel comfortable enough to say, hey, we can answer some questions right now.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Right.
And now you've given them this opportunity to start the process with you as the firm that says that they can help them versus someone else that doesn't give them that ability.
Absolutely. I just spoke with an attorney today, and they were telling me they don't have chat on their website. And they talked to a potential client who ended up going in a different direction because they didn't get their questions answered they needed answered. And she's like, if I would have had that, I would not have lost that client. So it's a perfect example. I think people want to feel like they can trust you, and they want to also know that you're going to be available for them. So if I'm a potential client, the first thing that happens is it takes you 2 days to get back to me. There is no way I'm hiring you. I don't trust you. You don't care about me enough to call me back. Like, it leaves a really bad taste in their mouth. I think another thing that we have to talk about too is having an answering service or some form of communication after hours and on the weekends. It's vital. It is vital. And I would say this, like, as someone that has searched and has called people before, right? I want to feel like I'm connected whenever I talk to you on the phone as well. Answering services are great. They help to fill in the gap whenever you're not able to answer the call, but having a great staff during office hours is important. I cannot tell you how many people I call attorneys every single day. And there is a very big difference between your typical answering service and someone that actually works at the firm that cares. I think, in my opinion, whether they work in your office or not, they need to sound like they do. Yeah. And they need to sound like they care. They don't need to sound like they're just gathering information. Just like we talked about with chat. You don't want chat to just be an information gatherer. You want there to be connection, and you want them to feel thought for. Same with the intake process.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, right? I want to, just like brand consistency on the internet, intake consistency. Think about it that way. Do you speak to your ideal clients the same way when they call at 4:00 in the afternoon? Do they get the same experience at 8:00? And what is that intake person saying? And are they saying, yeah, Mr. Jones will give you a call back within 24 hours, and you don't give them a call back for, till the next day or the day after because came in so late, right? So at the end of the day, you are selling yourself. You are selling your firm to your potential clients, right? Your website did some of the heavy lifting. The search engines, showed the site where you wanted it to show up. The ideal client clicked on your page. What are you doing now to convert them, right? Is it just a phone number on your website? Well, if it's just a phone number on your website, hopefully you have a good answering service in place, or you are answering the phone day in and day out to make sure that you are putting yourself in front of that ideal client. Okay, so let's say we don't have those, and you have put something like chat on your website or even a contact form. What are you expecting that to do to help you convert it, right? And I don't think a lot of attorneys think about it this way, where that is the first part of your sales process.
It is.
Is it just an information gatherer? Let me get your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. Okay, Mr. Jones will give you a call back in 24 hours. Or is it doing some of that heavy lifting for you? So next time you land on your site and it looks good, starts to tell a story, and you want to start interacting with it, is it just an information gatherer, or is it something that is helping you or your staff convert these people once you get on the phone?
Right. Right. Well, listen, chat can stop the buying process. So when you have connected with someone well enough, it's going to stop the process. Thinking about it even from like the way that our chat operates, right? It's utilizing your website to answer people's questions. It's showing empathy. If they got into a car accident, I'm so sorry to hear that you were in a car accident. And then it's going to go on to answer their questions. Honestly, like I used our chat for a home services product the other day, and I felt like I was talking to a human. If I wouldn't have known that it was AI, I would have just assumed it was a human. The answering and like the response time is so quick, and it gave me everything I needed without me having to pick up the phone and call. My buying process was stopped immediately from that. That's another way that you have to think about chat. Like you said, is it connecting? You know, obviously as an attorney, you don't want it to give legal advice, and it's never going to give legal advice. But if you can answer some of those small questions along the way and make them feel like, okay, they know what they're talking about, I'm done searching, that's what you need to do.
I love that story about the chat that your client had experienced, right? It reminds me of one of my clients, actually. For the criminal defense attorneys that are listening, a firm that I've worked with for, almost a decade now out of Texas. I won't give specifics, but I think it was 9:30 at night, Texas time. And this mom just got a call from her son who was recently arrested. Well, he had gotten into a little bit of trouble. And as you can imagine, if you're a parent, your heart probably sinks, right?
100%.
Starts looking around. What do I do? Who do I hire? Do I need a criminal defense attorney for this issue? Finds our firm and immediately sees that there's a way to interact with the firm online, and not just by chat, but hey, call. She gave it a shot. She called. And the person on the other end, she didn't know this at the time, was actually not human, because we live in this day and age of AI, but it made her feel so comfortable. Answered all the questions that it could answer without, being an attorney, right?
Sure.
But made her at the end of the day understand that this firm was so available for her in this time of need, where her son is sitting in a jail cell right now waiting to get bailed out, hopefully. And it just answered these questions. It was empathetic towards the situation. And the attorney got the transcript of that call right away, called her immediately, which I would recommend anyone do if you understand the severity of the case, right? How quickly that they actually got back in real time to them. It was a game changer. That mom felt in that moment, I don't need to talk to anyone else.
Right.
Got my questions answered. The firm already called me back. It was a win.
Yeah. It's that quickly connecting with someone that's going to help you to get the case.
Yeah.
And change someone's lives in the meantime,
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think to wrap it up, right, is if you're found, what are you doing now to really help your ideal clients interact with you in a way that no one else is? How do you make it feel human?
Right.
How do you give it empathy? How do you make sure that it is cohesive, like your brand, across every area? Right? If it is an answering service, do they speak the same language, if you will, and communicate the firm's values? Right? And what I mean by that is, would you trust them to help you close a deal at the end of the day if it is an answering service? If you have AI chat and these other things on your website, are you using them as a conversion tool, or are you just using them as information gatherers?
Sure.
Right.